Okay, so I am Kyla Stewart with Career Services. I'm the Employee Relations Coordinator, and we are here with a career readiness initiative on networking. And thank you so much for coming today. And I hope we are able to get you some information on networking and how it can help you with your career going forward. So we're going to start off a little bit about what you can do while you're in college to work on your networking skills, which will move you over into adulting networking. It's very good your whole life, starting out even younger. If you can, help your younger siblings or friends that you have that are in high school or those types of things to learn those networking skills early. It's very beneficial. So when you're in college, you are able to join clubs, sororities, fraternities, groups on campus, all of those types of things. So those are very good opportunities to be able to meet people, to be able to talk to them about what's going on in their life, their majors, where they come from, all of those types of things that you would a normal friend. However, when you're doing those types of things in college, you're also learning about other places, not just your friends in high school. So you're branching out a little bit more when you're in college, and then you meet your faculty and advisors, and you're learning a little bit more about that. So you're starting to already build what's called your network group. And that's really important because you can found out a lot about other areas, other characteristics of people, other walks of life, other experiences that people have had. So when you're networking like that, you can learn about things about yourself that you may not have realized, because especially if you've been in your own area for all of your life, if you've never traveled, if you've never known about other places that you might want to go, or if you have learned about those places and someone else has not, then you can share those experiences with someone else. Not only that, your parents may have some influence or a business or something along those lines that another classmate may be interested in, and they may have the same thing for you. So it's very good to learn and know about all of these types of information and people and characteristics and those types of things. So to tell the story a little bit about how that ties in, I was in a whole different industry years and years ago. For about 20 years. I was admin assistant, executive assistant, all those kinds of clerical, HR, accounting, all of those types of positions in different industries. And I never thought I would do anything different until I went to a certain company and they felt that my customer service skills would be better suited in the sales role. And that was not something I had ever thought of in my entire life. And I will tell you, sales is good money. So I had met people in the community. I had met people over the phone. I had met people in my company. And it was all through the phone, or if they stopped by my office to visit. So at that point, I had learned those customer service skills. I had learned those people coming through, and I had learned them from all over the place in my local area and in other regions. So my district manager at that time continued to work and push for a position to be available for me. And next thing you know, I'm a salesperson, something I'd never done. And for the next 11 years, I was a salesperson in different industries. And it's all the same. It's all the same skills. It's just another industry. Same thing with what I'd done for 20 years. You just learn to do the same thing that you do. You just apply it to a new industry. And all that together brought me to what I'm doing now. So I have the customer service. I recruit employers to recruit students, which is basically selling the university and what we do and our students on how they work, what they learn, and their experience and their knowledge. So everything together and all those contacts that I made, I now turn around and use it for the good of our university and our students, as well as the employers. So you can see how all that networking is amazing and how it comes together. So in light of that, I want to tell you a little bit about how that can work here at Arkansas Tech and in Handshake, in the community, in different clubs, and all of those types of things. So do you have any questions so far about how all that turned out?
Not yet.
Okay, so in Handshake, we have opportunities. We can search for employers, we can search for students, and we can search for just other colleges altogether. And these are good opportunities to be able to find different people that we can talk to. And so while I'm looking up, I'm going to share my screen really quickly and show you Handshake and how we can, that's the, is it going to let me, I can't slide this thing over. So that's always a bugger. Here, let me stop sharing so that I can grab Handshake really quickly. Okay, there we go. It gets underneath that little bar and you can't grab it. Okay, so when we're in Handshake, you can get in touch with other students by finding out if you're looking for other places that you want to work. So if this is an internship and it's going through Vista Outdoor, you can look at this particular company and you can see who other people, what other people have worked there. So if I'm going to go to Vista Outdoor and just look, hey, who else has been there that's worked at Arkansas Tech, or if they've worked at other universities, and that's a good way to network. So you can literally check out these students and you can see all of their information, what they're done, who they are, all kinds of things. So this student has clearly enjoyed his time at Vista Outdoor. And you can see what all he does and what kind of information he's got going on. And you can message him and say, hey, I'm looking at an internship for Vista Outdoor, and I'd like to talk with you a little bit about your experience. That's a networking opportunity. And that way you can find out who he worked for, what the job was like, what the environment at the facility was like, and how it was to work for those people. So that's a great way to do the same thing. Now, if you're looking at moving into another area, you can always ask them about the same thing. What's it like in your area? What are some of the employers in your area? All of those types of questions that you might want to know about another area as well. So this is a good opportunity for you to be able to network. Also, career fairs. That's another good way. Even though you may be a freshman all the way up to seniors, these employers come and they want to make relationships with our students from early on to seniors. Even if they're not doing an internship, they want to get to know you. They want to see what track you're on. They want to talk with you about what you're doing in your schoolwork, and they want to build that relationship up to where they're learning who you are, and keep you on a track or talk to you about your track so that they can learn to employ you later on. I know that sounds very interesting or kind of strange, but especially companies like ArcBest, they love to talk to students ahead of time and see what talent is coming out of the university. So that's a neat tool. So going to career fairs is a very, very valuable networking tool. So that's how we can do that in Handshake. And you can look up anyone and everyone, and you can follow companies just like that. I'm following all of these companies, and it will tell me when they post a job. It will tell me if they're changing anything, and that will help you out to keep following those companies and know what's going on with them. So stop sharing my screen there. Do you have any questions about that part of networking?
Do you have any tips for how to network yourself when the career fairs are virtual?
Okay, say that one more time.
Sorry, do you have any tips for when the career fairs are virtual, like when you're on WebEx and you need to network yourself versus when you're in person and able to hand them your resume?
Yes. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit the same. You can still network the same way. You can set up opportunities to do the group sessions and learn about those companies, because a lot of those employers are coming in to talk about their company, what they have to offer. That's a good way to learn about internships and what they are offering during those internships. Not only does that give you an opportunity to have experience related to your major, or if it's not related to your major, it may be an opportunity to see whether you want to continue in your major. So if you do that between your freshman and sophomore year, you're learning really quickly, and we can do that also with Intern for a Day. Is this really what I want to do? Or am I getting here and I'm seeing, wow, this is nothing like I planned on my career being like? And you can quickly make a change before you get deep into the mix of your major. And then you can also try out different companies in an internship. You're getting paid, you're getting the experience, and you're making contacts. So each summer, if you have that opportunity to, or even a virtual one, because there are so many of them, you could do a remote one during your school year. So there's all these opportunities to look out and see what's available for you, because anytime you have that experience on your resume, you are getting much more ahead of anyone else in your field of study. Second of all, you're making those contacts. You're making an impression on a future employer. If it's not a future employer that you had your mindset on, it could be, or you can decide it's not, or you can decide it is and continue on those routes of making those connections. So that's an opportunity. So get in there for those group sessions, talk to them. If you find one that's incredibly interesting, go ahead and make that one-on-one session with them and ask specific questions to them, because they're going to remember you more so if you're making a one-on-one. And you can make sure you get your resume to them each time, because some will hold on to those resumes and make notes and remember who you are for the next time that they're doing something, even if you don't get something this time. So that's great opportunity for networking, and that would be how that would work. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Did that answer kind of, I know it's a little bit different in the virtual world, but it's still a great opportunity. And that's why we ask to leave your camera on so they can see who you are. You don't have to have your mask. So that's a great opportunity for them to see you, hear you, know what's going on, and make that impression. So, and then you have the opportunity to join your clubs on campus to make contacts in that way. It will lead you to volunteer on campus and in the community. So when you're out volunteering in the community, you're making all those contacts to be, first of all, put the experience on your resume, because employers like to see that you can do something more than just your job. They want to see that you're out in the community, talking to people, getting those soft skills built up, being able to work with someone, being able to have that communication, being able to be a servant and have customer service skills. So that's very big and very important. And then it will lead you to be able to make connections in the community that are viable for what you're wanting to do in the future. So those are good networking connections. And then lastly, a big location that is always connecting with Arkansas Tech is the Chamber of Commerce. It's not the one all be all, but it is a big one and a big place to start. If you are in very many clubs or even some of the sororities and fraternities, they do call on them a lot to help with certain things in the community. Even Las Vegas, volunteering for Las Vegas, volunteering for the big community, the fall festival, when those come up, a lot of those things, some of your business owners, some of your corporate people are going to be at those larger events that you would have an opportunity to meet them. So I'm going to share my screen again so that you can see the website for the Chamber of Commerce. This is, and they've redone this. It's absolutely amazing. You can go here and see, find job opportunities, which is awesome. You can find their programs and resources, all kinds of training. And if you'll see right here, this is pretty awesome. This is, first of all, contacts at different companies in the area. I think that's probably pretty valuable information, wouldn't you? So it may not be the actual person that you need to contact for job information, but it's a start. And you can always go in and look in Handshake for the companies that have these contacts in there and see if this is it. Or you can even send them a letter, a good old-fashioned letter. I would like to send this in. I'm trying to reach the person that is accepting resumes. Would like to submit mine for this, that, and the other job. And that's a good way to start. So here is, and I can tell you that a lot of these people, Josh Crane, Dr. Gocher, several of these people are the contact for their industries. And you can also look for other locations on here that will point you down to right there, job opportunities that are in the area. And you can click on these companies and see what they have available. So there's two opportunities that you have right here. Handshake, the university, and your local Chamber of Commerce for job opportunities. And if you're wanting to volunteer, you can do the same thing. You can find out about all kinds of things that are going on at the chamber. And I'm trying to find program events. This is where you would want to check out. And this is always right here. A community event include a collaboration between the community and Arkansas Tech. So that is a good opportunity to get involved with the chamber and Arkansas Tech and build those alliances. So same thing with the Business Expo. Hopefully we'll come back to Tucker. That would be amazing. So you can see right here, these are good opportunities for a student to be able to get involved, though the community and Arkansas Tech always come together in so many things. It's unreal. And my job specifically is to introduce you to employers in the community, to be able to refer you to employers in the community, be able to help you with finding those particular situations where you can go and network. So if there's anything that we can help you with in that area, that's what you need to come to me for, and we're more than happy to help you get set up in those areas. Do you see the value in networking a little bit more now that you've seen all of these areas that we can help you with?
Yeah, I can see how there are a lot of different aspects of networking that you might not originally think of, like with volunteering and just with clubs and all the different resources on campus.
Right. Is there any questions that you have or some thoughts about your networking path that I could help or talk with you about?
I had a question about volunteering. So, like for an engineering major, it would be hard to get something volunteering for your major. Is it still important to get networking contacts through volunteering if it's not in your industry?
You actually probably could. And the reason I say that is there is an opportunity that I could touch base with Rockline. They have students that come in from the Career Center out at the high school. And what they do is they take those students from the Career Center starting at the sophomore year, and they are helping them transition up from year to year to year. And they have a program that's like an internship, except that they're learning on the job training, they're being paid, and then each year they are transitioning up to the next level, up to the next level. So if there is an opportunity that we could talk with the plant manager out there, and you may have seen Rockline Industries on that list, and Mr. Mark Clark, that you could work with some of those students, you could volunteer to help them with some of your expertise in that. There is opportunities for that. So that's one that I know. If there's any of those opportunities that you could volunteer with a program like that, with a program through the junior high to talk with some of the robotics or STEM students, that you could go out and have a class presentation, even some of the lower levels when they're just starting into those things. And you could work with some of the teachers that are just starting into helping them with the robotics and the engineering type stuff. There are opportunities that we can work with you on finding those volunteer situations.
Thank you. That helped a lot.
Yes, Dr. Gocher that was on that list, he is a very, very good superintendent for the Russellville School District. And there's the ones around the area. I've worked with them in several situations, and we can always find a volunteer situation, especially in the education industry. So if that's something that you're looking at, we can certainly look in those directions, or even some of the students that may be a high risk situation or having some difficulties in some other areas, that you may be able to talk with them about some things that they have not thought about before. Get them in a direction that they have not thought about before. So that there's all kinds of areas that are really helpful, that a lot of students or students that have not had these opportunities, it just takes someone coming in and talking to them about it and getting their interest in something else, because they may not realize that they actually have that potential. And someone showing it to them might be their eye-opening experience, and you've just shown it to them. So there's always that. So any other questions or thoughts?
Not anything that I can think of. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if you need anything, let me know, and we're always here to help. This is a great part of my job, is being able to get you guys networking experience and find positions and internships and jobs. Even if they're not internships, it's just a summer job that, makes an opportunity very helpful. And there are all kinds of ways to be able to network and get you involved in things. So just let me know. Always keep in touch. You can email me, and you can call me here in Career Services, and I'm happy to help. So with that, if you don't have any further questions, I'm going to go ahead and close out for the day. And thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.